Hi, Cancer. Welcome to your end of November 2020 General Tarot Update. It's Raina here. I'm recording this on Friday the 13th, and a few years ago, I decided to find out more about that particular date. And it was very interesting what came up. Friday is connected to Venus. All of the days of the week are connected to different planets, and Friday is connected to Venus, which is a feminine energy, and the number 13th is a feminine energy. This is a divine feminine, kind of like a double dose. And so, if you're interested, look online yourself, research it, because you will see how these things can get distorted over time, and how they are used against the original meaning and the energy of that date. Or I never know if it's day or date. But in any case, I wanted to give you a few dates of this month that are astrologically significant. And, in the second half of November, one of them being on this date, the 13th, when I'm recording this, Mars is going direct, hooray, in its own sign of Aries. So Mars is already very irascible, feisty in Aries, but it's been retrograde. So it's been kind of sitting on its hands. It's been frustrated that it can't do what it wants to do. It's very active as a planet, and it's a personal planet. So, we sit up and take notice when personal planets go direct. And now this marks a 2.5 month period. Am I right about that? Yeah. Until the end of January, when all the personal planets are direct. So this is significant. This is a significant day on that front. And so anyway, in terms of it in your chart, obviously this is a generalized look at it, but it's a cardinal sign, Aries, and so it's going to be in an angular house. In this case, the 10th house of career. So this is a place where, you're trying to advance in the world. You have your reputation in the world. It's the house of the father, authority figures. And you may have felt frustrated with these types of people. And you may have felt like you couldn't do anything, that you had to just kind of bite your tongue, swallow your pride. Who knows how it manifested for you. And now you can take action. And this also involves your career aspirations. Maybe there was some kind of slowdown or internal preparation. If you have been preparing maybe behind the scenes or something along those lines where you weren't kind of debuting yourself in a certain profession, then now you feel this ability to do so. Mars will strengthen as time goes on. But it will even stay in Aries, I believe, through the new year. So it's not going anywhere soon. It's not leaving that area for you. And then on the 14th or 15th, depending on where you live, we have a new moon in Scorpio. And this is at 23 degrees of Scorpio. This is your 5th house of romance and creativity. So this is a house of pleasure. There could be something new going on in that area of life. And then on the 30th, there is a lunar eclipse at 8 degrees of Gemini, and this is falling in your 12th house. So this is an area that can deal with past lives and all kinds of, it can deal with addictions and things that you feel keep you from achieving more in life. And a lunar eclipse can help to loosen that grip very easily. I mean, obviously there could be some kind of an event, a crisis, a aha moment that accompanies this, but it can be very good for burning past karma, if you will. And really, when I say that, I'm really talking about these habitual patterns that stick with us from one life to the other, and which I feel influence the type of experiences that we have, even the type of people we meet and things like that. So there you go. Pretty eventful couple of weeks that we have ahead of us. So I want to look at it from the tarot perspective. Wow. I already got 2 major arcana cards, so that should tell you something. Make that 3. Yeah, the bottom cards I'll hold up so you. Okay, this is the last card I'm picking. Let's see what it is. Okay. Okay. Well, the heart of the matter is the Fool card. And this is a card, when I think of 2020 and the eclipses, there was an eclipse at 0 degrees of Cancer earlier this year. And that eclipse that fell actually was at 0 degrees, so a lot, it was actually in your 12th house. This eclipse that you're having that I said was in your 12th house, many of you may experience it actually in your 11th house, which is the house of hopes and wishes and friendships and things like that. But the eclipses that come in pairs, there is going to be a full moon, not an eclipse, but you're going to have a full moon right before the new year in your sign, a lunar eclipse, Cancer. And so what I would say about the Fool card is about absolutely new beginnings, but this may be something that is a story that has played out since the summertime, or if you're down under, the winter time. I can't say that about June. I can't say that winter is June, but you know what I mean. June, it was around the time of the summer solstice, in June, and here we are, as I record this, almost 5 months out from that. And here we have another lunar eclipse, but this time in the sign adjacent, which is Gemini. And so there's the sense of a clean slate and moving forward with a sense of maybe no expectations, no particular direction that you're going in, but that doesn't mean that you're lost. That means that you are open to the adventure. And this is really an important distinction, because this kind of is different than you typically operate. I think a lot of Cancer people like to know their destination and every little detail therein, their whole itinerary. So being able to kind of let go of that need to control everything around you. And so where is this happening in your life? Is it your love life, your career? Is that what the Mars energy is all about, that you have found yourself excited about a new type of career, and you don't know, you've never done it before, so you don't know what to expect, but you're kind of just feeling a sense of elation about it. This may even be a business that you are starting on your own. In the past position, we have the King of Wands, which might be a person that you have met that you want to start this new journey with. A King of Wands is going to be somebody who is, the first phrase that came into my mind is alpha male. Aries is a sign that is a cardinal sign that creates a bit of friction because it's a square to you, but you may be physically attracted to this person. I think somebody wrote to me because I was wondering if this was, I thought that this might be Leo, and they said it was Aries. So maybe this is specifically Aries, but I just kind of generalize it to all of the fire signs. But it's a double masculine energy. That's why I said alpha male. And the masculine element, I mean, women have the masculine element sometimes, although Cancer is a feminine sign, being a water sign. But it's all about individuality and externalizing energy, projecting energy into the outer world, and that sense of expansion is really what Wands or fire energy is about. Creativity, autonomy. Freedom is a big piece in this. So somebody who has attained the king status is a mature version of this. Typically, they'll say chronologically older than you, but that certainly does not have to be the case because chronology does not, guarantee maturity, as we well know. So this person could be younger than you, but they have an authoritarian, that's not a good term. They have a sense of authority about them. So they may be a boss, maybe your boss, but they have, they're a power player. And if they have their own business, an entrepreneur, somebody who is calling their own shots, and this may be different than the type of man that you are typically attracted to. This may be the kind of man that intrigues you, but it's kind of a new experience if we're talking about the Fool card, but you're willing to try it out. You're not afraid to try it out. However, this could be an aspect of you that something has made you very empowered and in the driver's seat of your life. And certainly that's going back to that solar eclipse. I could see that might do it because it's the sense of really, it's like a powerful new moon. So you may have had a lot of seeds planted at that time that have come to fruition in your favor in your life. The higher message is the Magician card, and maybe this is something that Cancers had to learn in 2020 is how to manifest, but an active type of a thing where you realize that you are the one who is responsible and capable of creating, being a conscious co-creator in life. And typically, this is something that a Cancer person can readily accept, being a cardinal sign. It's funny, I remember back in the day when I would look at want ads, there used to be a term, I'm sure they still use it, but I don't know how many want ads they have. Like, I'm talking about like physical local newspapers or something, but they would say wanted a self-starter. And I remember that would always rankle me. It bothered me, that idea of a self-starter. What is a self-starter? And what do they have, like an ignition key in their butt or what, And I have a lot of mutable energy in my chart. So taking control of a situation was not something that just came naturally to me. A cardinal sign is naturally inclined to take action and not wait for somebody else to tell them what to do. And that is what a self-starter is. So you're a natural self-starter. And that doesn't mean that the rest of us cannot learn how to be like you. It's just that we have to understand that we may not be naturally inclined to be like that. And we have to kind of learn how to embody that quality. But in your case, you have it within yourself, inherent, and yet you may have, for whatever reason, felt that it is not really important, or maybe some fears of survival. If you grew up with kind of a shaky first chakra or security, especially, you can feel that, you have to feather your nest and you have to make sure that everything is safe and that you're not going to have a calamity. And so that may have kind of made you much more willing to work for somebody else and do whatever you're asked to do. But perhaps something in 2020 has come along and shown you that there are no guarantees in life. I think if that's one of the lessons that 2020 has shown us, it would be that. And so we have to understand that there may not be anyone else to save us, and that we have to be able to save ourselves. And that's not a bad thing. That's actually a good thing. And that's what conscious co-creation is all about, is that you're taking an active step in creating your own reality. And there can be a sense of magic in that when you really see the fruits of your labor in this area. And so for those of you who are planning to start a business, this is a great time with all the personal planets going direct or having gone direct. What crosses you is the Wheel of Fortune. It's interesting, the Wheel of Fortune. Now you see that somebody's on top and somebody is falling off of the wheel. So that's just, kind of how life works. Is that sometimes you're aligned and sometimes you're not. Now, this is in the challenge position, so you may have not felt aligned. And certainly, Capricorn, Jupiter has been in your opposite sign of Capricorn, so it's been opposing your sun. And I think that is a challenge of asking you, where do your blessings come from? Because Jupiter can be connected to luck and even, money and stuff like that. But perhaps there is this need of an attitude adjustment when it comes to this. Now, Saturn is also in Capricorn, and both of these planets are going to go into Aquarius, and this is your 8th house. And the 8th house is a money house as well. It's the area of shared resources. So with Jupiter going into that house in December, you may notice that you're starting to receive abundance that's coming not directly from you, but from other people, from people that you're associated with. If you have gotten divorced, it could come from your ex-spouse or the settlement, the legal settlement. Inheritance is the 8th house. But Saturn is here as well. And so it's demanding of you a sense of restraint and prudence when you're dealing with money issues that involve other people. And so perhaps you have not felt that you have been that magician lately, or that you've been attracting the things that you want out of life. And this, especially the last few years, few years ago, you had eclipses in the money, in your earned income sector. And even with the eclipses in your sign, this may affect your life in general and shake things up. And so now that the eclipses are moving out of Capricorn and Cancer after 2020, you may start to settle down, and you might feel that you have that sense of alignment once again. What's coming in is represented by the Queen of Pentacles, and this is, to me, this should be Cancer's card, even though this is associated with the earth element. But you are certainly, well, queens, I think, connect with water element, but it's also, this is a double feminine energy, great on a double feminine day. Pentacles is the earth, and this can be the queen of her castle. Now, everything connected to homemaking, maybe having more connection if you have children, with your children from the home, maybe working from the home. And going back to that scenario of somebody who is starting their own business, that can be one of the reasons why you did so that you could always be with your children. Perhaps there was some situation where you were working for somebody else and you were home for a while during the shutdown, and then you went back into the office and you realized that that wasn't going to work for you anymore. I think that is going to be what happens to some people. Some people have been able to see the benefit of being at home, and perhaps they were so caught up in that rat race that it didn't even occur to them, and they had that chance to see what it would be like. And so it was kind of funny, like when we first had a shutdown in the United States, and there were things that we had a lot of shortages of certain items. Toilet paper was the first one, but one of them was flour, because people were baking. People were doing things at home, and I don't know if they were doing it to save money or if they were just doing it because they thought it tasted better and they had the leisure time to be able to do that. But there's other reasons why these kinds of activities have important implications, because it connects us to a slower way of living, more intentional way of living, and nourishing the body and therefore the soul. So if that's something that you are doing, gardening can be the Queen of Pentacles. But also this is a great financial card of having that wherewithal to kind of enjoy your home, enjoy your environment. And the outcome is the Seven of Pentacles. This is another card that I associate with somebody who's starting a business and assessing that sort of investment of energy, and is it going to pay off? But you do have to give it time. Some Sun and Cancer people have Mars and Aries, and they can be quite impatient. They can have this sense of urgency about things. And you may, if that's the case, you may feel like, let's get this party started. But you don't want to throw in the towel too quickly. And if you have, I also wanted to say, if this has something to do with a relationship, and if this person is quite different from you, you also don't want to throw in the towel. Even if this is, it feels like you have to make a lot of adjustments because you want to maybe break old patterns, because you never know if that will be the key to a lasting relationship. if you've come from some kind of a broken relationship. So in any case, Cancer, I hope that this resonated. If you would like a personal reading, I do a lot of astrology readings for personal readings, but I do tarot as well. You can check my offerings for more information at the link below. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.